And it says here, because I want to get to it. Okay, let's go to it. It says, and when he had fasted 40 days, come on, we do some fasting. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he afterwards was hungry. Okay, flesh, here we go. Flesh, here we go. Flesh hungry, right? Fasting. He doing the will of God. He fasting. He in the wilderness. He got that alone time. Now he's fasting. He fasted for 40 days. Flesh starts speaking to him. I'm hungry. And when the tempter had came to him, he said, if you be the Son of God, command these stones to become bread. But Jesus answered and said to him, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Number one, defeating the enemy with the word. Because why? He's walking in the spirit. Okay, don't mean that the temptation don't stop. Then the devil takes him up into a holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and say to him, if you be the Son of God, cast yourself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning you. And in their hands they shall bear you up, lest at any time you dash your foot against a stone. Jesus responds again. It is written, you shall not tempt the Lord your God. Again, now I want y'all to catch this. I want you to catch this. Again, the devil takes him up into exceeding mountain and show him all the kingdoms of what? Come on, I want y'all to see who's showing them stuff. All the kingdoms of what? The world. And the glory of them, and said to him, all these things I will give you if you fall down and do what? He said, who said all these things I will give you? The devil. Give you things of what? So now I want you to understand, he'll give you things of the world, right? So this is why the world, those that are in the world, blinded by the things of the world. Come on. Because now they have fell down to worship the God of this world, which is not God at all. See, it's okay, because people that say this, when they're good up there, I'm getting my award, right? I'm on BET. Come on, I'm on BET. I got my BET award. I'm getting my BET award, And in that, I get up and say, oh, I thank God. What God are they thanking? What God are they truly thanking? Who have become their God? You know what I'm saying? I want that business. I want this and that and the other. So what you do, you begin to settle, begin to compromise, begin to do it a different way. You begin to take in and adopt the ways of the world. And because you adopt the ways of the world, it makes you appear that you're being successful because you're evaluating yourself according to the way of the world. But baby, there's a spirit that got to lead you, and all along is telling you that it's not the way to go. But the circumstance around you look good, and it look like it is the way to go, which is causing confusion in your mind, and you don't know which way to go. So now you continue to press forward, because now the very thing which blinded you and got you have now entangled you, and now you begin to like that thing and become addicted to that thing and want to be with it no matter what it is. You don't want to let it go, and because you don't want to let it go, you wind up in bondage, and then you get to a place because you have been hearing God. That's the only way in which you will hear God. Bondage is good for some. Because the key of it is this. Being in bondage for some is good. Why? Because he have to allow the God of this world to entangle and ensnare you, because you ain't listening to nothing he got to say. You can't hear nothing he got to say. So rather than, come on, rather than take you out of here and have you to suffer, he allows his grace to be sufficient. Okay, let me make it plain. Let me make it real plain. You got to realize something. When those that go to jail, they go to jail, right? And in the midst of them being in bondage in jail, right? The key of it is that they get there and they get to a point where they call upon Christ, but the whole time they hadn't been listening. Now, for children that go to jail, a lot of times their parents will come in, they haven't been listening at all. But they get in and everything they want to do, because now their spirit is beginning to grow. Now they have confessed the Lord Jesus Christ. Their spirit is beginning to grow, because now they have came to a point where they see the need of God. So now it's nothing in there to serve the world. So now they don't have to evaluate themselves to the world, but what they're evaluating themselves to are things that are lower standard. One thing about prison, it's a whole different lifestyle, baby. One thing about prison, things that are accepted is not looking good. So you come to the point where you have to make a decision to identify, because you realize that the situation and the bondage condition which you in, now you have to deal with. But the only way you grow that you're going to make it through is if you call upon Christ like no other.